Talking with famous people. Hi friends, and welcome to Talking with Famous People. My name is host Eric, and today I'm going to use short clips from Naked and Afraid of Love in order to elucidate things about cognitive functions. Let's start with the first clip. Wow.
Sad day in Eden.
Definitely sad day in Eden.
Like, how are you feeling right now?
So what we have here is an example of FI tool and FE tool. The FE tool person says, it's a sad day in Eden. Note that the FE tool person doesn't say, I feel sad, or something like that, right? And then he asks the other guy, how are you feeling?
I want to say I'm stoked for it right now, but I'm not. That's not how I feel. I feel like I will be maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then the other guy says, well, this is how I'm feeling right now, but this is how I'll probably feel tomorrow. He's perfectly able to give the question serious consideration and answer it in a meaningful way. Wow.
When Cassidy left, I understood why, because I wasn't giving her the time and attention that she wanted.
FI operational value, which is to say, when trying to evaluate the situation, he's assuming that the other person is using his tool function as a means of evaluating things. So why did Candace leave? Well, I get it, because I wasn't giving her the time and attention she wanted, so she had her feelings hurt, so she left. Right? Whereas a TI tool person might say, but I had no obligation to give her those things. Why should she be mad at me? Wow. Just because it exemplifies a given principle of cognitive functions doesn't mean that every time you hear this sentence, that person will be that type. In general, people will stick to their types in terms of their how they talk about things. But we also have FE and SI, which means people repeat things other people say that even if they misinterpret them badly or interpret them in very different ways than the people intended them to be interpreted. Okay, so now let's go on to the next clip. Wow. We're going to see FE fourth slot. This is in the INTP on the show. Amazingly, an INTP ended up on the show.
All eyes are on you. All the girls are waiting to see what you're going to do about the guys that they may or may not like, and I feel like everyone's staring at me.
I feel like everyone's staring at me. Classic fourth slot FE. Wow. The tool function is more than just an instrumental value. It's also a projected instrumental value. So it's how you project other people should be dealing with their stuff. If you're trying to understand people, you're going to understand them as though they were using your tool function. Like, well, they must have had these logical reasons for doing it, would be something that I might say, even if there's not good cause to say that, because they actually decide things in a different way. Wow. Here's SE operational value in action. Let's watch and enjoy.
No substitute for like quality time, and if you're in a group, it's kind of a little difficult. So
this may seem like a minor thing, but he's expressing things very differently than other types do in ways that show how he's projecting unknowingly his operational value onto the world or displaying it himself. In this case, he's saying there's no replacement for quality time. Okay? Note that that's expressed differently than I need time to get to know somebody. So we'll see that in a second here as we move forward. Wow.
We haven't with
yes, I've been taking things pretty slow.
Yeah, I know, like give them slower or give her some space.
Think about her feelings versus do shit, right? And give her some space means try to be aware that her feelings go up and down and change and stuff, and let her naturally feel her way back to you. It is very FI operational value. Wow.
Yeah.
Someone who isn't like weirded out by like just normal stuff. Would you go to the store and buy me tampons?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Would you also get hot Cheetos while you're there?
You showing the right values. You showing that you disavow FE caring what other people think because it's fourth slot for her, and that you reliably do shit for me. Wow. SI operational with FE, and then 3110 SI operational with FI.
To take multiple women out on dates and actually get to know who they are. And then in the end, you know, I'll make a final decision on who I really want to pursue and grow with.
Take out multiple women on dates, get to know who they are, and then make a final decision. That's this person's frame of reference for how he should operate here, right? Which requires him to get to know a bunch of people. And this is the ESFJ. That's what it looks like with SI operational value and FE. Now let's look at SI operational value and FI in the ESTJ here.
I just want to meet more people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that you could, after knowing everyone, it's like, this is what I got. Maybe you can make the best decision.
Yeah.
They're agreeing on their SI tool function there.
That fuego, that fire.
Yeah.
They are framing it differently. So it's like he wants to meet a lot of different women, get to know them, and then make his choice. Barack is waiting to feel fuego. Note the difference of the prevalence of feelings as the driving component, and yet both of them being operationally SI. Since this is a very F experience across the board for these people, obviously it prioritizes F kinds of attention more than T kinds of attention.
I don't have any kind of romantic interest. I know that my checklist is kind of long and elaborate, and I'm trying to keep an open mind and open heart, but it's not really working with the girls.
Okay, so that's a very TI approach, operational value to romance, is to have a checklist of things you want or don't want, and then check the other person for consistency against it. Of course, additionally, you see it constraining his SE. Basically, he doesn't want to bang any of these girls until he's sure it's the right one, because he probably is well aware of the mess that creates, you know? You get to see people who maybe don't appear socially graceful in other contexts appearing extremely graceful in this context. Namely, ESFPs can seem like the wisest people around when this is what you're doing. And they don't seem FE awkward, really.
Portrayed as like the player, and like,
Look
I
at
don't
this.
want that. I want her to see me fully for, you know, who I am authentically.
He's really smooth, and he's a giver, and he's attending to the other person's experience a lot, right?
This is a dream.
I love giving massages. This is my specialty.
And you can contrast this in the way that he's attending to the different experiences from, for example, the ESFJ guy who went and built a sandcastle with Lauren. Now this ESFP guy, he wove a mat out of palm fronds. It's a great mat. And his personal item that he brought along with him was coconut oil, because he loves giving massages. And so it's like he brings this girl over and says, you know, you burned your foot and stuff, and we're having a time. I've got something special planned for you. Here, lie down. You just relax. This is just your day, spa day thing, and you know, at the end. These are good examples of how these things play out. And it is more true than you'd think that people of a given type will consistently express things accordingly. So instead of expressing something as, I need time to get to know them, he'll say, quality time is important. We got to seize those opportunities when we can. It's a different frame. In their element, they're kings. They're very graceful. They're not FE cringy. They're correct about the whole matter. If you are in the situation, who's going to be the most right person? ESFPs. Turns out SI tools are pretty good function stack for this situation, because then you expect yourself to get to know a sequence of people. Although it's also the case that your initial tool function urge is to stick with what you know right there, Your operational urge is to attain knowledge of these various new things. So, and you do that through experiencing them over time. So that's a good function to be on this show for. But the best function stack for this show is SEFI. Wow. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like to my channel, as well as do other things that help me. Talking with famous people.